Oh, good morning. July the 14th, Sunday morning. Looks pretty. Well, they're having a mess down there. It's flooding down in the south, ain't it? Down there in Louisiana. And I guess the rain will make its way on up through the nation some. West Virginia could use some, I believe. But you feel for people. They're going through those hardships, and some of them, it's undoubtedly it'll destroy their homes. I mean, the water will just get in, and it'll bring a lot of things in. Then you got seen something on Fox News there this morning. They had this doctor on there talking about bacteria. There was another man down in Florida here in the last couple days or so died from a bacteria that's in the water. Swimming 48 hours, this bacteria got on him, and within 48 hours he died. And this water, it's coming up, it's on shore now. It's on shore, and it's coming, spread out. And she's talking about don't get in the water if you have wounds, sores, anything at all, so this bacteria can get in there, and it just opens the door up into your body. So now that's not a good deal. So be careful down there if you're in them areas. Well, she said there's bacteria, the flesh-eating bacteria, even in fresh waters. That's like little streams here in West Virginia and things. The right kind of bacteria get in a wound, get infection, maybe worse. That's like, back years ago, you say, well, like snakes, the cottonmouth or water moccasin, it was a reptile. It was indigenous to the southern states, those hotter, warmer states. But now, they've made their way to the north, Here, a couple years ago, there's a little boy, it was. I mean, it's just not like maybe 30 miles from where I live here in southern West Virginia. He's swimming in a river, a Guyandotte River, and he gets bit by cottonmouth or water moccasin. So things are changing. I mean, what we thought were the norm are actually changing, But speaking of the norm, oh, that's a good one. The norm to the liberal community is accept me. Give me legitimacy, even though I'm not godly, even though I'm not moral, even though I'm not honorable, even though I'm not decent, even though I may lie and cheat and steal and kill. Give me legitimacy. That's the norm with the liberal thinking now. What's bringing this up? Well, I watched on Fox there. They're talking about illegal immigration. ICE agents are supposed to go out and pick up close to a couple thousand people that refuse to see the judge, go back to court and see the judge that was supposed to judge whether their legitimacy for refugee status, running for changing locations in the world for legitimate reasons, what it is, out of fear or danger or whatever in your home country, you have to leave. That's what it's about. That's what this refugee and illegal immigration deal, it's what it's all about. Or at least that is the actually normal, legitimate reason for leaving your country. We have those that are leaving their country for illegitimate reasons. They're coming up here and getting on the American dime. Some of them want a better life. Everybody wants a better life. Okay, everybody does. I mean, basically, everybody wants a better life. But these people are coming up, they don't like the way things are, so they come to America. And a lot of these people, see, what was the percentage? the majority or the huge percentage of these people were actually coming up here and going on welfare, going on the American dime. They're getting whatever, maybe they're bringing 3 or 4 times the amount into their life or more than what they were getting in their other country, but they're not doing anything to get it. They're just coming up here and going on the American dime. Well, we got it made up there. U.S. will give us anything we want. We don't have to raise a hand. You know, I've spent time on welfare. I know what that is. I know what it is. You know, back, well, let's talk, we're talking 30 years ago. About around that, 30 years ago. I spent some time on, back in the 70s, and coal bottomed out. I mean, coal just went down to almost nothing. If you was fortunate enough to get a job or to hang on to a job at a mother company, you know they got these subcontractors, punch mines and stuff come in under them. But if you was fortunate enough to be on a mother company or a company that was connected good with the mother company, you could work. But if you wasn't, it got tough. It got tough. Hey, I left southern West Virginia twice trying to get some work going in other areas, and I ended up right back up here. So I know what the welfare thing is. It's not good, but what I was getting at was the point, man. There was things. Listen, we went through some tough times, tight times. The wife and I, and our girls, having to start a family, and man, and then the rug jerked out from under you, and we went through some tight, tough times. But you know, we was pinching pennies. We knew what it was to be on an American dime and not have a vehicle and different things. We've been there. So, you know, don't sit there and try to judge me or others, you know, because things just don't look right to you. A lot of us have been there. We've been there. But I look at what's going on now. There were programs that could have helped us where we were at, that could have made things a little bit easier on us. But we didn't know what they were, and the offices wouldn't tell us what they were. Said, if you don't ask for them, we can't tell you. I mean, that's basically where the rules were set up. And understandably why. Because people, if they got too easy, they would stay there. But you look at it now, you got people, listen, they're talking the world is overpopulated. Okay, scientists we just had a meeting of scientists here just a couple months back, 3 months back. Meeting of scientists said that a third of the world's population needs to die off. 6 billion people in the world, and these people were talking, the scientists are saying, well, 2 billion need to just die. Do you realize what that is? You realize what that is? That's insinuating 2 billion lives need to die off. I mean, I look at a billion or a 2 billion, and it's a number. It's a number. That's all it is. It's a number. But when you start thinking about 2 billion dying off, people, lives dying off, that number takes on a whole different prospect. Man, it's unimaginable. This welfare thing, we didn't get it because we didn't know it was there. Programs within that, in the background, we didn't know they were there that could have helped us a lot in our in where we were. We didn't get it because we didn't know to ask for it. And I look at what's going on. These so-called refugees coming into this nation, going on the American dime, and they're getting thousands of dollars, man. The world's handed to them, and the American citizen, born here, legitimately here, don't get it. Some of these Muslims coming into this nation, 3 and 4 wives. These people are collecting thousands upon thousands of dollars a year. I mean, big money. Because they got 20, 25 members in their family on the American dime. People, they're playing the system. But now it gets worse. It gets worse. We now have people in our government that are playing those people to get into the system. They are already part of it, but they don't have power to manipulate it the way they want. So they use the numbers of these morally illegitimate numbers to gain power. You have these liberals and socialists that are playing the immoral, godless avenues around the problems that are going on in this nation. They are playing those godless, immoral avenues to garner support. Listen, this all boils down to one thing, people. There's been a thing going on in the background for 75 plus years, and people are ignorant of it. They just don't know it's been taking place. It's been in the background for 75 plus years. They're trying to push a one world socialist government into power. They're trying to bring a one world order into power, absolute power. And as long as America is godly, or has any sort sense of godly uprightness within it, as long as America has some sort of moral uprightness within it, that one world system is held back. That's what this whole friggin' thing is about. That's what the whole poop hole mess in Washington, D.C. is about right now. That's the reason CNN and ABC and NBC and CBS and MSNBC, Washington Times and Charleston's West Virginia's Charleston Gazette and the Washington Post, and you got all these things, these other ones that are coming in there. That's the reason this whole friggin' mess is going on. That is what's lying behind it. This is no longer a political battle, people. These people have stooped. They have stooped and slumped themselves into position, into godly, immoral action and attitude to try to undermine and manipulate America. That's what this is about. This ain't about this friggin' garbage going on that you see on the television. This is not what they're painting. This is not what the socialists, AOC, Alexandria Cortez, the Latino that's in office up there, and the representatives. Her campaign as a campaign manager or spokesman, you know, she's talking about this new Green Deal, this new Green Deal. Well, her spokesman said the new Green Deal is a cover. Her own spokesman said the new Green Deal is a cover. This is about socialism. He comes right out in the open and said this is about socialism. We've had witnesses, people that have left Islam. They turned their back on Islam and they ran from it. And what have they told us? Islam is nothing but a socialist military power under the guise of Islam, under the guise of religion. Okay? Hey, listen, you about this time you should start questioning what they've been telling you. Okay? People, this is no longer a political battle. I don't give a crap what these people tell you. It's no longer political. People, they are using actual evil, corruption, and intent to undermine your very life of freedom and liberty and justice for all. They are trying to undermine you. They are manipulating things to gain power over you. This is not about it's not about Democrat and Republican anymore, people. It's not. It's not. It is not. Listen, Barack Obama come in, he was neither Democrat or Republican. But the Democratic Party was the door that would open the door to his treachery. The Democratic Party was the path back years ago. What was the man's name? He's a friggin' socialist. He tried to get into office in American government. He ran for office so many times. Never did get in. He finally gave up, and you know what he said? He said, there's no need for me to be in office. He said, the American people will accept communist or socialist policy through liberalism. Through the ignorance of not knowing what is godly and moral, they will accept socialism. We left England because religion had covered up its evil. The word religion, Christian, had covered up an evil. A military socialist system of force upon people that claimed to be Christian but did not live Christian. This is no longer about, this is not, but what does he say? I don't remember, I don't know exactly how he said it. He said, the New Green Deal is a cover. He said, this is about socialism. These Muslim women up there as the House of Representatives, they're Muslim. They're socialist. So Islam is a socialist system. Islam has said we will control the world. We will one day be in power in the world. Wherein there's envy and strife, there's every evil work. Look at over at those the Middle East and them other areas, all those Muslim countries over there. They can't get along, people. They're at war with one another. America pulls out, hey, they get over and start killing one another. That's just they kill one another. What's the Bible says? Wherein there's evil and envy and strife, there's every evil work. They don't get along. Envy and strife. Envy and strife. And there's also every evil work. We know they rape, they murder, they do all kinds of freaking wrong. Listen, the very same thing and even worse that's going on in the dark streets of these big cities in the United States goes on over there in Islamic countries. Over there, they do it in the name of God. In the name of God. They rape and manipulate and mutilate and kill all kinds of friggin' rot in the name of God. Our God, the Christian God, says, hey, I've done laid it out before you what's right and wrong. You either keep it or I'll send your butt to hell. It's just the way it is. People don't like it. But listen, when you can create your own world, you can run it any way you want that you think it's going to function. But this one belongs to God. He's already laid out the rights and the wrongs. He placed them into creation. He told the Jews, I've set before you life and death, blessing and curse, and choose ye life that you may live. God says you don't lie to people. The one true God says you don't lie to people. The one true God says you don't cheat people. The one true God says you don't steal from people. The one true God says you don't kill people. The one true God laid out laid out in creation the elements of right and wrong, the boundaries. But look at us. We don't keep the boundaries. Everything in the world goes on. Everything in the world goes on. But guess what? Today it's the norm. The liberals and the socialists want you to think, hey, this is the way it is. This is the norm. Accept it. It's legitimate now. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's not doing it. Everybody's not. The huge majority of Americans put Donald Trump in office. Why? Because they know everybody's not doing it. They know it. The Democratic Party has lost us. It's lost the American people. That's why they're trying to bring all these illegals and everything. Listen, as far-fetched as it's going to sound, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. This is far-fetched. I mean, you might have a little bit of trouble wrapping your mind around it, but I'm going to tell you something. I honestly believe the Democratic Party would like to see chaos hit the streets of America. Everything they're doing is pointing toward that. Joe Biden here just a few weeks ago started hollering this junk. Oh, I think we need to, let's see, how was it he put it? He said, I think we need to physically, is it physically or? Physically erupt or something. The Democratic Party right now, people, I believe would like to see civil war start in America. I really do. I really, really do. They're reluctant on slapping the hand of its Antifa, and these people, they're out beating up citizens of this nation. They'll get to marching and getting their rights, and someone open their mouth and say, no, that ain't right, and they'll beat them up. They'll attack them. Democratic Party's not slapping their hands. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, I put some of this stuff on the other day, and there was people come at me, oh, you're way out there, John Davis. Man, you do all this. And one of them says, oh, won't you just go away, far, far away. And I just, why? Because people have accepted, they've accepted the trash. They've accepted the rot. They've accepted the lies, the cheating, the manipulations. They've accepted it. What was the socialist politician that couldn't get into office through vote said, I don't have to get into office. The American people will accept socialist policy through liberalism. They've accepted it. They have accepted that rot into their minds and into their hearts as the norm. They've accepted it. They have accepted it as the norm. The lying, the cheating, the stealing, the manipulations, the filth, the disgrace, the pain, the tears. It's been accepted as the norm. Oh, I don't believe all that. I don't see it that way. I know these things are wrong, and that I believe these things are going to happen. No, ain't nothing you can do about it. We might as well just accept it. That's basically what's going on in their mind. That's basically what's going on in their mind. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. It's going to happen. I guess I'll just have to be complacent with it, with what's handed to me. And the liberals and socialists bringing in these illegals, wanting to swing the door wide open because they have lost the American public. The huge, not a small majority of people, the huge majority of the American public, they want government. They want right and wrong. They want hope for their families. They want justice. There's not anybody on the face of this planet with two decent brain cells rubbing together between their ears would actually accept socialism or liberalism. All it'd take is two decent brain cells rubbing together between their ears, well, and maybe a spark of actual love for their family. Maybe a spark of actual love for their family that would actually give in and accept liberal socialist power. They would reject it in a heartbeat if they loved their families. But now, like I said, they have to have two decent brain cells rubbing together between their ears. This is, I've told you people, this is no longer political. It's not. It's not. It's not. That's good, isn't it? It is not. It's not. Okay. But evil has risen its face, and it shows no shame of it, and it has no remorse. This illegal thing going on, these politicians are breaking the law. Nancy Pelosi has broken federal law that's been on the books for a lot of years. She's willfully breaking the law. Why is she walking the streets? Why haven't they arrested her? Why haven't these mayors and judges and senators and representatives and prosecuting attorneys that have broken these laws, why are they walking the streets? Why have they not been arrested and prosecuted? Why have they not been stopped? This Jesse Smollett thing going on up there, this black attorney general says, well, we're just going to drop all the charges. That's back up now. Different prosecuting attorneys in place. He said we open it back up. And this down here in Texas is another black prosecuting attorney. He's a man, and he says we're not gonna prosecute these people that break the law out of need and all this stuff. The need that is created is they created. Their liberal BS created that need. They are creating that need. They're breaking the law, and these prosecuting attorneys and judges and representatives and senators and mayors and people are breaking the law that's been on the books, and now they're created the need that they're saying they're not going to prosecute these people out of. These people need to be prosecuted, not just the illegals. Get the ones that are causing it. The Nancy Pelosi's, the AOCs, the Muslim representatives, the Democrat representatives and stuff, Kamala Harris, instead of all this garbage, arrest them. Quit your friggin' garbage and arrest them. When you set your foot down, listen, if you don't cut the friggin' head of the snake off, the snake is going to bite you. That's just the way it is. It's going to bite you. Cut its head off. Get these friggin' perverts that are not keeping their oath of office and breaking the law. Deal with them. Deal with them. Until that law is changed, it is still law. It is still law. You know, you people in D.C., you realize you people, you're bringing civil war to the streets of this nation. Like I said, people, these friggin' socialists don't care. These liberals don't care. They don't care. They want civil war. See, if they get civil war, all they got to do is cry, "Oh, UN, come in and help us. Oh, EU, come in and help us. Fight our cause. Fight our cause. Are you coming? Are you coming? Fight our cause." And the ignorance of the American people that listen to them. You're bringing this garbage to our nation. You're bringing these treacherous. You're bringing. I mean, what is civil war? And you're bringing the elements of civil war to life in our nation. Our president he's done much to help us, to bring us out of the miseries that Barack Obama chose to be the face of. He's helped us very, very much. Donald John Trump has. But look at him. These liberals and socialists have fought him every step of the way. They have fought him every step of the way. They're perverts. They need to be lined up and shot. The Democratic Party right now needs to be bulldozed, piled up, and burned. It's a friggin' suit. Listen, I've told you and I'm going to tell you again. I don't like using this language, but I'm going to use it. The liberal socialist thinking of today is tomorrow's shithole. You look at Venezuela, North Korea, Iran, the people wanting out from that friggin' socialist garbage. That's what these friggin' liberals and socialists are doing to America right now. They're pushing us into that. They are pushing this nation into that same friggin' disastrous, smelly, stench-filled rot. Have a good day. You support them, you're a terrorist.